Welcome to another video, and today we're going to be doing something fun. We're going to be trying to play Ocean Dragon Neo Daedalus with a straight face. Is it actually competitive? Is making our opponent discard their entire hand, sending every card in the field to the graveyard, is this something that makes sense? Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to summon our Ocean Dragon Lord. We're going to activate Legendary Ocean, and we're just going to go for it, because you got to go for it. Special summon the Ocean Dragon Lord Neo Daedalus, activate the effect, send every card to the graveyard, and we're going to take a look at the opponent's graveyard here.
Aha! Plankton! That's right, Crabs. Now surrender? Or what? I don't know. I never thought I'd get this far.
Oh no. I've made a huge mistake. Opponent has Water Enchantress of the Temple. They can activate from the graveyard. They have Destiny Hero. Draw hand, that's going to activate in the graveyard. They got Branded Retribution, that's going to activate in the graveyard. And opponent's going to get back their Despia Theater. So, yeah, that wasn't great. Maybe we just got unlucky here. Opponent's going to pass back to their turn. They're going to need that draw hand back. They are going to at least make us draw a card too, which is, you know, not terrible. And Adventure Engine is going to be online for them. Ocean Dragon Lord just kind of sitting here with 2900 attack at least. At least Adventurer Token can't attack over it. And opponent is getting their Wandering Griffin Rider, discarding a Feather Duster, and they're going to Fusion Summon instead of using the Adventure Engine. Interesting. Make a Guardian Chimera. I don't know if this was the right play, opponent. You could have set up Adventure and just bounce this back to hand where it's useless, but hey, you know what? You be you. Opponent attacking over Ocean Dragon Lord. No respect. No respect for what we accomplished here. Well, we're going to have to teach our opponent a lesson. Just because we don't immediately win the game when we make our opponent send every card in their hand to the graveyard doesn't mean we have to give up. We're pretty lucky top deck here, getting that Ocean Dragon Lord, because we can just search that Sea Stealth attack, and now we got Umi Control Engine online. Opponent can't summon any non-water monsters. I'm going to try and Raigeki here. Jellyfish is going to say no to that. Get out of here, Raigeki. Teach opponent a lesson. You get Ocean Dragon Lorded, you're supposed to surrender. You're supposed to surrender out of respect. Opponent's going to add that Ecclesia back to hand. Alright, opponent. I see what you're trying to do. But we're not going to allow it. Let's search with the Ocean Dragon Lord for a Rage of Kyorshin. We can pop a monster on our opponent's turn, prevent him from using that zone. Special summon the Levia Dragon from the graveyard. We can use Sea Stealth attack to banish it. We'll get it back at the end of turn. Could we have got another Ocean Dragon Lord? Yes. Yes, we could have. Would that be better? Yes, it would be better to have a second one. But you know what? We're not here to play the best. We're here to send a message. An opponent finally understands. We gotta pop. We gotta negate. They can't summon any more monsters. Alright. That was pretty sweet. Let's try and do it again. I'll have the full deck list at the end of the video. Make sure to subscribe to see more quality water deck content. Now, we're not here to win. We're here to send a message. And the message we're sending is all of their cards to the graveyard. Let's activate Fish Sonar. Now, I gotta keep in mind here, there are a ton of ways to search Levia Dragon Daedalus. Foolish Barrel Goods, sending Ice Bear to the graveyard, Fish Sonar, and the Kyorshin actually can search Levia Dragon through that trap, the Kyorshin trap, and special summon it straight to the field. We're going to use Ice Barrier to search for the Ocean Dragon Lord. Sent that to the graveyard, Foolish Burial, and hey, we got it. We're going to go for it. We don't got another line. We could have searched Umi Control Engine. No, we're here to send every card to the graveyard. Let's take a look at our opponent's graveyard here, and oh god, opponent. Well, we sent a lot of good stuff to the graveyard, but unfortunately, opponent also had a Conquistador, which means they're playing Eldritch, and we probably just helped them out here, because now they can set up their Eldritch trap turn 1. That's not great, but you know what? We're not here to just give up just because our opponent sets one Eldritch card, and oh my god, Branded Fusion. Opponent, how are you this lucky? We sent your entire hand to the graveyard. You're supposed to concede out of respect. You're not supposed to keep doing things. And you're definitely not supposed to summon Eldritch the Golden Lord and a Lubellian Alright, you know what? We just got a top deck Umi. We'll send everything to the graveyard, and that'll be great. Alright, let's go. Heart of the cards. We rip into Warrior. We can just use that to search for an Umi. Alright, opponent. You didn't get the message the first time. Let's give you a second message. Send everything to the graveyard. Get out of here. Let's attack you directly for 2,900. Opponent, you have learned your lesson. Concede. There is no more you can do. You've been sent to the graveyard twice. Opponent, no, you can't stop summoning Eldritch. This is a bit extremely disrespectful, opponent. Extreme levels of disrespect. Stop summoning Eldritch. Opponent, activating effects in the graveyard, setting Hequero. You're gonna attack over our Ocean Dragonlord. That is extremely disrespectful, opponent. This is just not okay. If you're watching this, I need you to know that this is not okay. This is not how you should behave when you've been sent to the graveyard by the Ocean Dragonlord. Now we draw Pot of Greed. Let's activate. Draw 2 cards. If we top deck perfectly, we could still win this. Opponent doing things. I don't know why you're doing this, opponent. What's this gonna achieve? This is not accomplishing anything. Opponent gonna summon the Hequero. Banish our Ocean Dragonlord from the graveyard. That is just ultimate disrespect. Summoning a Doom King. We're gonna draw 2. We can't do anything. And you know what? Our opponent, they're not playing respectfully. We're gonna leave. Let's go on to the next game. Alright, that Eldritch player may not have conceded, but we're gonna consider that a win. Let's see what other meta decks we can destroy with the Ocean Dragonlord Neo Daedalus. Opponent activating Pod Duality. It's Birds. Birds got a new trap spell. They got this Advent of Adventure. Basically gives them 3 more starters. They can just search for their field spell right now and get their combo line going. But we actually have a pretty good matchup versus Birds. And I say we, as in Umi control. Ocean Dragonlord is just gonna close it out. Once we get the game under control, we're gonna Ocean Dragonlord, send everything to graveyard, hit our opponent for that 2,900 damage, and they're gonna concede out of respect. Opponent doing Bird combo. Now Bird combo is we got no interruption, so Bird combo is gonna usually end with the Big Bird, Floowandereeze, and M-Pen, and sometimes a barrier statue if they're feeling extremely disrespectful, to stop us from special summoning non-win monsters. That M-Pen is going to negate effects of special summon monsters that are summoned in attack mode. There he goes. And he's also going to set the Floowandereeze trap that's going to let them do their Floowandereing again on our turn. And opponent's map triggers when we normal summon a monster. So we got to be careful here. When we normal summon, we want to make sure we can negate that map effect, or at least stop it from doing anything effective. So let's search for the Ocean Dragonlord here. Search for an Umi. Birds doesn't usually have a way to deal with Umi specifically. And let's summon that Ocean Dragonlord. Now opponent is getting edicted here. He can only have 1 non-water monster in the field, so he's forced to send his barrier statue to the graveyard. He could have sent the Floowandereeze and M-Pen, but that would have been bad news for him. So made the right choice here. Now the reason we didn't summon the Jellyfish is if we summon the Jellyfish, we're forced to negate the Floowandereeze trap, and then opponent can activate this, summon a bunch of birds. Not be great. So that was why we did this first, instead of summoning the Jellyfish. Opponent can summon the water birds, but that's it. No wind birds. You already got a wind monster on the field, opponent. You can't have anything else. Once opponent is done vomiting their birds onto the field, there you go. Got another water bird. 1 more water bird. That's it. You're done. There are no more water birds in the deck. Stop banishing things, alright? Now opponent doesn't know we're about to teach him a lesson. Let's set the stealth attack. Now opponent won't be able to attack into us. We can activate another Umi from our graveyard. We don't have one. And opponent gonna try and attack. This was actually a mistake. Now Yu-Gi-Oh does not tell you what effect is triggering. You actually just, if it asks you to activate this, it means it's always the first effect to banish a card. I learned that the hard way just now. It's not the effect to destroy a monster that battles, so we take a bunch of unnecessary damage here. That's okay. We're gonna get our boy back. Well, it's actually not okay. Opponent's gonna start summoning more things. We're just gonna hope that our opponent can't stop us from locking them again. That was a pretty big oops there. Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't tell you what effect is activating, so you just kind of have to guess. I thought it was effect 2, but it was effect 1. Well, that's okay. Opponent doesn't realize that we're about to teach them a lesson with the Ocean Dragonlord, so that They can keep playing. That's fine. That's respectable. Opponent doing more bird things. Summon that Mega Monarch. That just puts a card on top of our library and puts the card back in our hand. So we're just going to redraw it. And we already got the Ocean Dragon Lord back on field. So let's just activate. Send your Wind Monster to the graveyard. Opponent, interestingly, keeping the Ryza. And once he summoned the Jellyfish, opponent's going to concede. They didn't even know we had the Levia Dragon in hand. We were going to use the Jellyfish, summon, send Umi to the graveyard. Send opponent's entire hand, entire field to the graveyard. Send all our cards to the graveyard. And see if the Ocean Dragon can carry us the rest of the way. Opponent not even waiting. Now that is a new level of disrespect. Let's see if we can do it in the next game. Alright, we got a quality hand here. Foolish Barrel Goods can send Ice Barrier to the graveyard. Unfortunately, we drew our other Ice Barrier, so we can't use this one because we don't have anything to send. Opponent going to Ash Blossom, the effect of our Ice Barrier to search. Now, that's a little annoying, but it's okay because we got Fish Sonar in hand. So Fish Sonar going to search for, now that Ash is out of the way, Fish Sonar is going to search for the Karushin. We'll activate that Legendary Ocean, normal summon Karu. Set our Ice Barrier. Set our Stealth Attack. And hope for the best here. Opponent won't be able to summon more than one non-water monster. Except opponent has Lightning Storm. We're forced to banish our Karushin from the field to stop our monster getting destroyed. A little awkward here, but that's okay. And turns out opponent is playing Marincess. Opponent, not sure why they didn't try and wipe the back row. I guess it wouldn't have made a huge difference. But they're playing water monsters, so Karushin actually doesn't do anything against them. Now opponent's going to Wombo combo. Marincess Wombo combo usually ends up summoning a high link monster equipped with a bunch of link monsters from their graveyard using the Battle Ocean field spell. So that's what opponent's going for here. With the Sea Angel, they're going to search the Battle Ocean. They're going to special summon a Coral Anemone. Coral Anemone going to special summon from the graveyard. This is just to get themselves up to a Link 4. They're going to make the Triangle. Triangle is a new Marincess card. Really helps the deck, and you can see how here it's going to activate, send a water monster from the graveyard to add a trap to hand. And they got more Marincess in hand. They're going to special summon the Argonaut. And this is where their combo kind of ends. They equip all these spells. They get boosted attack points. And we're just going to activate Ice Barrier, negate the effects of this monster, make its attack 0 permanently, pass back to our turn. But before we do, we can search for the Ocean Dragon Lord, because this is what we're here to do. We're not here to win with Umi control. We're here to win with the Ocean Dragon Lord. And we have just top decked Godly, the Levia Dragon. Now we have an option here. We could summon the Levia Dragon, summon the Ocean Dragon Lord, activate, but we know our opponent added one of the cards they added to hand. If we scroll up in this list here, one of the cards they added to hand was Marincess Wave, and this is if you control Marincess Link monster, target a face-up monster your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of turn. So if we do this, opponent's just going to negate it. They can activate that trap from hand. So we got to get rid of this before we can do the Ocean Dragon Lord combo. So let's start by trying to pop this Marincess Argonaut. Second effect of Marincess Wave is actually your monsters are unaffected by card effects. So that was a bit of a waste. We could have just attacked over it. We're going to try and do that now. Destroy it with the Stealth Attack. Attack over it. Couldn't be destroyed because of the battle trap. And now we had the option. We had the option of going Levia Dragon, Ocean Dragon Lord, sending everything to the graveyard, but I got greedy. I want to wait till I have another monster so that I could save my Karushin with Stealth Attack. Because if you use Stealth Attack, banish a card you'll end to turn, and then you activate your Levia Dragon Ocean Lord, your monster comes back at the end of turn, even though everything else is gone. So I was getting greedy. I could have done it. You know, flame me in the comments. I'm not. This is me being disrespectful. I should have respected the combo. An opponent's going to keep comboing. They're going to do more Marincess things. Special summon the Blue Slug. Get Marincess back to the hand. Kind of recycle. They're going to use another new card, Marincess Dive, to special summon a Marincess from the graveyard. They're going to make a Splash Mage. Splash Mage also can summon a card from graveyard. Go into Link 3, but actually a Link 2 Coral Anemone. Not sure what that was all about. You could have made that before opponent. Opponent getting a Spring Girl. Special summoning. There we go. That was why. They need the Splash Mage to get Link 4. And they're going for the Great Bubble Reef. Getting all those equip spells. And opponent hasn't found a way to get around Sea Stealth Attack. I guess they have Marincess Marincess Wave again. So if they activate that now, oh, opponent, what are you doing? Okay, opponent forgot. Opponent forgot to activate their Marincess Wave, and got their monster destroyed by Sea Stealth Attack. Okay, well, you know, we were gonna do it on the next turn, so I'll count that as a semi-win for the Ocean Dragon Neo Daedalus. Let's try going on to another game. All right, we're gonna give it one more shot here. We got the Ocean Dragon Lord in hand. You'll see from my deck list, the odds of getting this combo is pretty high, especially with all our searchers. Opponent gonna activate a Lure. We're gonna activate Maxi now in case they draw into an Ash Blossom or a Call By. They're gonna draw 2 cards, banish a card from their hand. It is Thunder Dragons. So hopefully Maxi will draw us a couple cards here. Opponent summoning their Thunder Dark to field. Making the Colossus. That's gonna stop us adding cards to our hand. But our searchers actually, a lot of our searchers don't add directly to hand. Foolish Burial sends a card to the graveyard. Pot of Extravagance draws, so that gets around Thunder Dragon Colossus effect. Now, someone suggested in my last video to add Pot to this deck, to the Umi control deck. They were right, this card is great. We're not really using the extra deck at all. Doesn't really matter if we randomly banish Zeus or Toad, which we actually did here. Because, you know, getting 2 extra cards, we're going to be extending out a lot better than just randomly having extra deck cards. So let's get around Thunder Dragon Colossus here. Use Ice Barrier. Ice Barrier sends a card from the deck to the graveyard and then sends it from the graveyard to the hand. Gets around the Colossus. Let's summon the Jellyfish. Activate. Special summon the Ocean Dragon Lord here because we're missing a piece still. We coulda used the. Now I guess we're being a bit cowardly because we could have used the Jellyfish. Search for the Ocean Dragon Lord maybe. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll give it a shot. Opponent attacking. Now, I wasn't sure how this interaction works. Sometimes Sea Stealth Attack gets around protection effects like this, but Thunder Dragon Colossus effect to banish instead of getting destroyed does work here. Opponent shuffling some cards from their hand into the deck. Killing our Ocean Dragon Lord, but that's okay. We're not here to win with Ocean Dragon Lord. We're here to win, well, with this Ocean Dragon Lord. I guess there's 2 Ocean Dragon Lords. That's a little bit confusing, isn't it? 2 Ocean Dragon Lords? There should be only 1 Ocean Dragon Lord. Some sort of Ocean Dragon Lord political strife going on, like Game of Thrones. Let's negate with the Electric Jellyfish, and now we should be able... Oh, opponent, what are you doing? Okay, well... Opponent conceded. They probably guessed from us adding it to hand before that we were going to do the Ocean Dragon Lord, send everything to graveyard play, and they just weren't ready. Alright, well, I had a lot of fun. Let's check out the deck list. Alright, here is the Levia Dragon deck list. Now, you'll notice one thing. There's 41 cards. What's going on? I did not run Doom Kraken in this list, but I think you probably should run it. Maybe you could cut one of the Pots of Extravagance and run a Doom Kraken, because you can search this, and its effect to send a monster to your hand and destroy an opponent's monster is pretty powerful, so probably worth including one of these. Now, as far as the Ocean Dragon Lord package, of course we're running Ocean Dragon Lord number 1 and OG Ocean Dragon Lord Neo Daedalus. We're running 3 of these because you can't search it with Fish Sonar. Fish Sonar only searches level 7 or lower monsters, and Ocean Dragon Lord is a level 8. So can't search it with Fish Sonar. You can search it with Ice Barrier though. So that'll be our primary way of getting it. Either add it to your hand by drawing, use the pot to get it, or search it with Ice Barrier. So that's the reason we're running 3 of these and only 1 of the Levia Dragon. Levia Dragon, crazy searchable. You can search it with Ice Barrier, you can search it with Fish Sonar, and you can special summon it directly to the field with Kiarusin's Dark Reef. I'm not running any normal fish. This card lets you special summon a 6 or lower water normal as well, but I'm not running one of those. You could if you want to. I don't think it's necessary. Card's still pretty powerful when it goes off. Usually you're already a bit of a ways ahead of your opponent. Of course, we're running 3 copies of Umi and a Sea Stealth 2. We're running 1 Rage of Kiarushin, some Imperms to interact with our opponent, 1 Sea Stealth attack, and in the extra deck, we got just a bunch of stuff. I don't think you're going to be making most of this. You're mostly going to be vanishing with Pot of Extravagance, but there are situations where you get 2 level 5s, you can make a Nash Knight, or maybe your level is reduced, you can make a level 4, go into Bahamut Shark, make a Toad, negate your opponent's plays. But most of the time, main deck's pretty solid, you'll be winning with that. Hope you enjoyed today's video, hope you learned to respect the Ocean Dragon Lord Neo Daedalus. If someone does this to you, just concede, alright? Concede out of respect. Alright, have a good night.